welcome to Open World Concept. So, thank you so much, guys, for joining. Now, Blizzard on Diablo 4, they launched Open World Concept, and take a look at what they're saying here.
Just exploring the world. I am a huge completist naturally, that's the way I play, and I love exploring and looking under every single nook and cranny. The more this game has been growing, particularly since last BlizzCon, the more fun I am having just riding around the open world on my mount and exploring everything I possibly can.
Yeah, it's really fun, I think, now that we've kind of taken Sanctuary and just made it so much larger when you're playing through the game. You know, when you compare it to like Diablo 3 or Diablo 2, there's tons of like exploration and
Now, listening to that, this is what Blizzard has given us for Open World Concept. And this video is about, 11 to 12 minutes of explaining a little bit about the open world, and you're going to have a link on the description below so you guys can go and take a look at it yourselves. And they're really talking about it for about 20 seconds, 30 seconds at most. So it really got me thinking. They only spoke about it for for about 30 seconds at most, and then they start talking to us about the mounts, the different type of mounts, the PvP, looking at the camps. So, what does open world concept really mean to them, right? I mean, I'm thinking of open world concept. I'm thinking of, I guess, older games like Fable. I'm thinking of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm thinking of World of Warcraft. Those are the kind of games that I'm expecting. Yes, you still have an end goal objective. Some, in some cases, like certain Fable games, depending on your decisions, you're going to have different scenarios at the end. That's spectacular. That's exactly the type of gameplay I'm expecting. But I mean, let's be realistic. You are fighting demons here, so I mean, I completely understand that the end game is going to be very similar or the same. I'm fine with that. But what's open world to them? Right? Nobody really has addressed it. Like, you really see some extra paths, looking at when they're referring to the campsites, and you're looking at that mini map on top, and essentially you're seeing just like 2 or 3 roads leading away from those camps. And I'm like, okay, but where are those roads gonna lead you? Are you still gonna end back in the same location? Is it just a linear progression system? Then they just added an extra road just to kind of say you're exploring. Like, what is really going to happen here? And even since I've been talking about camps, what are really camps to begin with? I mean, yes, they did explain it, right? Watch this.
Sanctuary in many ways when you take these camps back from the enemy. Vendors will come back, and now suddenly there might be like new quest givers, new stories that need to be told. Dungeon entrances can appear in some of these places afterwards. Like, there's all kinds of things that occur after you take over the camp and liberate it from these forces of darkness. And again, it's just so cool to see you permanently change the world as you find these places and kind of wander through and solve.
So my biggest takeaway here is, do I still need to do the camps? Right? Did your open world concept still become this linear progression that I still have to go in, do these camps, because if not, I'm missing out on vendors, quests, waypoints? Or is it my choice to be able to say, well, hey, I'm exploring, I just spotted this camp in danger, let me liberate it, and now I can get some extra bonuses on it? So they're really not clear, and this is why I'm making this video. I want to know what you guys think, because I'm having mixed feelings about this. Yes, it's a great idea. Yes, I'm happy. The second I heard about open world concept, even in my previous videos on Diablo 4, I was super hyped about it. And looking back at what they've been saying is, well, nothing at all. Really. So tell me what you guys think. How is it going to be their open world concept? Now, if it was Blizzard, I would expect something tremendous, right? You're looking at the previous games. Again, I'll bring up World of Warcraft. You're looking at the Warcraft series. I'm not talking about Reforged here, so a little comma there. But I mean, they make fantastic games, but this is Activision Blizzard. Let's push everything to the market, get some extra money, and really maximize profit. So, what is it gonna be? I'm excited about it, but I'm skeptical about it. It almost feels like what they're going to do just by looking at the clips of what they've been showing and looking at their mini maps of, is it really open world? It doesn't really seem that open. It just seems like they have some extra trails here and there that essentially lead you back to the exact same point as you were or as you should have been, even if you didn't have that quote unquote open world. So yeah, I'm perplexed, right? I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm very skeptical. I don't really know what to say. Let's go through it together. Now, I think there's one of two things that are going to happen here. Either they're going to surprise us and they're going to go back to old school Blizzard and really bring up something phenomenal for us to see, or most probably the most logical thing here would be, Activision stepping in and essentially giving us what Activision thinks that open world concept is, right? So just telling us, well, here you go. You still have to go from point A to point B. Anything you do within that point, it does not make any significant difference. You may have an extra path here and there that you can maybe discover, and they'll end right there. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is you can actually see it from Diablo 3, where they brought in the fact that you can actually interact with the environment, but that was only in Act 1, specifically when you're going into um, when you're going underground to the church and trying to find Deckard Cain. That's really where you're really interacting with the environment. Every other act thereafter has barely any to no interaction or consequence. There's, you break a vase here and there, but that's not really interactive. As opposed to Act 1, well, in Act 1, you get to go inside, you get to drop walls on enemies' heads, all sorts of items, you get to set things on fire. It's fun, it's interesting, they give you extra bonuses, it's amazing. And then they kind of stop talking about it as if it never really happened. No mention whatsoever. Reapers of Souls didn't really have anything significant for me to say that, yeah, you're really interacting with your environment. So it almost feels like they're gonna do this here. That's how it feels like for me. On Act 1, they're gonna bring that open world with a few more trails, and then it's gonna really disappear into the nether, and like people are gonna stop talking about it. And notice the reason why I'm saying that is every time they're showing us that open world concept, they're really referring back to that first act. It's always the same background, always the same trails. There's nothing different about it. It's always the same thing, as if showing us, here's Act 1, this is what we've been working on, here's your open world, and then they kind of forget about it. So I'm very skeptical here. Guys, tell me what you think. I'm very interested to see if you guys agree with me, yes or no. If you guys have any other comments, please drop it into the comment section. Give us a like if you like this one, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.